Dirty bulking is the worst possible thing you can do if you're trying to get to that lean, shredded physique as fast as possible. When I first started lifting as that 110-pound skinny, insecure kid, I thought dirty bulking was my only answer to beating my fast metabolism. I would eat everything in sight. I would do mass gainer shakes, burgers, pizza, fries, everything in sight. I would eat it, and no matter what I did, I still couldn't gain weight. Then I started dirty bulking, and I just 2x'd that terrible diet, and it ended up causing me to put on way more unnecessary fat than I had to. Yeah, I gained weight, but I also gained a fat stomach, constantly had indigestion, always felt lethargic and low energy, and overall just hated the way that I looked in the mirror. If you're trying to break through that fast metabolism to build size without wrecking your confidence and your health, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. This is the same approach I used to go from 110 pounds to 170 pounds to now building the lean, shredded look that I have. And this is also the same system that I implement for all my clients. I call it the ELT bulking method. Before I go into the ELT method of bulking, I want to talk about my experience with dirty bulking. That way you know that it's not going to work for you. I went from 110 pounds to 170 pounds in a year because I thought the more food I ate, the more muscle I would build. I was totally wrong. But what no one told me was that I'd constantly be running to the bathroom with indigestion, I'd feel bloated all the time, and I'd have no energy outside the gym. Not only that, but my entire experience bulking caused me to have terrible acne. My skin would break out every single week. Without a doubt, I would wake up with new pimples on my face. And on top of that, I looked worse than I looked at 110 pounds. I was bulking up to put on size and muscle to break through my insecurities and confidence, and that was the exact thing that dirty bulking took away from me. Yes, dirty bulking is going to help you put on weight, but it's not going to help you build that lean, shredded physique that you actually want. If your goal is to build lean, size, and feel strong, dirty bulking is the slowest and most painful way to do it. There's three main reasons why, and the third one is the most important, so listen up. Number one is you don't control what weight you're putting on. It's going to be a mix of fat and muscle. Number two, the extra fat that you're going to gain from dirty bulking is what's going to slow you down and make you feel more lethargic throughout the day, which if you're working a 9 to 5 like I am, that 2 p.m. crash is not what you're looking for. And number three is the more you dirty bulk, the harder your cut is going to be when you try to shred down. You're going to end up in a loop of extremes. You're going to take the bulk way too far, and then when you cut down, you're going to have to shred so much weight, it's going to feel unsustainable. So now that you know the exact reasons why dirty bulking isn't for you, let's dive into the ELT blueprint method, which is going to get you to that lean, shredded physique while working 40 plus hours a week. Step number one is smart surplus. Just enough to help you put on that muscle and make the scale go up without spilling over. First, I want you to calculate your maintenance calories. Now there's two ways to do this, and I'm going to put both right here. You can pause the video and calculate that yourself. Now, once you have that number, I want you to add 200 to 300 calories. You don't need to go crazy doubling your caloric intake to get to where you want to be. You want to be using those 200 to 300 extra calories to be building muscle rather than storing fat. If you take the bulk too far and start eating 500, 600, 700 calories over your maintenance, what most fitness coaches aren't going to tell you is that your body's going to start taking those calories and turning them into fat. Now, if you're not gaining weight after a couple of weeks in that 200, 300 surplus, you can increase by another 100 each week until you see the scale start moving. Step number two is going to be implementing a swappable meal plan system. You need to create yourself a menu of proteins, carbs, fats, and vegetables that you like eating on a consistent basis. It should look something like this. This meal prep matrix I made has over 256 combinations that I can choose from, so I never get bored on my diet, and I know that every single meal is balanced perfectly to get me to where I need to be. Not only that, but they taste great, give me the energy I need to fuel my lifts, and I never have any problems with digestion. No food coma, no gut issues, and I always feel energized throughout the entire day. Having a system like this allows me to meal prep in under 30 minutes. Especially when you're bulking, you need to be cooking so much food that it feels unsustainable. I remember trying to fit 3,500 calories into my day while working 9 to 5 in the city, and it was just impossible without eating out. But when you have a system that allows you to meal prep 10 plus meals at once in under 30 minutes, you're able to have no problem cooking twice a week to fit your goals. I'm always able to go in my fridge, pick the first thing that's there, and I know that what I'm eating is going to fit my macros. And step number three, arguably the most important one if you're working 50, 60 hours a week, is going to be time optimized training. More calories aren't going to matter if it's not fueling the proper training. With the ELT system, every workout is structured around compound lifts and progressive overload. Those are the two main things that are going to help you build muscle on a bulk and increase your strength tenfold while having more calories in your system. You shouldn't just be eating to gain weight because all those calories need to be going into increasing your strength. The whole point of bulking up is to hit higher numbers in your lifts. That way you can push more muscle growth. Your split isn't going to really matter. You can choose whatever works for you. Push, pull legs, bro split, upper, lower. That has nothing to do with the amount of muscle you're going to gain, as long as every lift is structured in a way where you're hitting your compounds and then you're hitting your accessories. The compounds need to be focused on progressive overloading every week. That means without a doubt, there should be more weight on the bar every single week. And that doesn't mean you have to track every single lift, but at least in your head, remember what numbers you're doing on your squats, presses, and deadlifts. And number 4 is really for any diet phase, but it's lifestyle scheduling. Bulking isn't about hitting your macros one day. It's about hitting that calorie surplus day after day after day, week after week after week, and month after month after month, because that's what's going to allow you to progress. Especially when you start gaining weight, it's going to be harder for you to gain weight. That's called metabolic adaptation. The more you gain, the harder it is for you to gain more. And that's why it's really about consistency. By scheduling your meals, workouts, and even rest times, you're able to completely eliminate guesswork and anxiety about what you should be doing. That way, for a fact, you know, this is what I need to do now, this is what I need to do later, this is what I need to do tomorrow, and you always have that set out game plan for each day to hit your goals, no doubt about it. That way you can go to sleep with the peace of your mind that eventually you will get to your goal. Being able to stay consistent with a schedule over time is how my clients are able to gain weight without ever feeling lethargic or sloppy. It's because it builds your physique without destroying your entire lifestyle. You're able to put on size and muscle while still feeling energized throughout your workday. You avoid the gut issues and indigestion that come with overeating as well. You never get to that point where you lose your six-pack abs. And you never go through that fat bulk to extreme cut miserable cycle. So if you're considering a dirty bulk, take it from someone who's been there. It's not worth it. You'll just end up feeling fat, tired, and end up back at square one 6 months down the road. Instead, follow a system that lets you feel lean, shredded, confident throughout the entire process. And that's what my ELT bulking method is all about. If this video helped you out, drop a sub, follow me on Instagram at Gabe Lederman. I post videos every day about training, nutrition, and lifestyle. That way you can get to your dream physique without giving up your career and your lifestyle. And if you're ready to start bulking without ever feeling lethargic or losing your confidence, tap the link below and book in a free 30-minute strategy call with me, where I'll go over your goals and dial you in an exact strategy to get you there as fast as possible. Remember, don't dirty bulk, build lean, and build for life.